Good morning, Brian Smyer here. You know how people say every wedding is unique? Well, this one took that idea, put it in ski boots, and dropped it off in the middle of the Uintas. I'm talking deep snow, a frozen lake, and a bride and groom who weren't afraid to shovel a path for Grandma. Literally. Megan Underwood joins me today to share how she and her husband Seth turned their love of skiing and mountains into a wedding day that was both wildly scenic and deeply personal. From a ceremony by a thawing alpine lake to a golf course reception with shot skis, DJ Richie Steadman, and centerpieces made from ski boots. Megan didn't just plan a wedding, she crafted an experience. Let's hear how they pulled it off, what worked, what she changed, and the one idea that I love so much I might start recommending to everyone.
Hi, I'm Megan Underwood, newly married name, getting used to it, but absolutely love it. Born and raised in Utah, moved to Colorado, not as cool as Utah, so I came back, love the skiing, love the outdoors, and that's how I met my now husband. He's a skier, I'm a skier, and that's what stemmed our mountain wedding. Because we love the snow, a summer wedding needs snow, right? So when you get to your destination, it's always important to have a shovel. Thank God for my husband and the men who attended the ceremony, because they dug a runway for me to walk down and for my 91-year-old grandma to walk through and find a seat to watch our ceremony site at 10,000 feet. I knew that we wanted our ceremony to be intimate. So with that, that's 12 people, immediate family, my 91-year-old grandma at 10,000 feet. Thank God for some electrolytes and some Gatorade to get her up there. And then the next day we knew we wanted to throw a raging party. I've lived in Utah all my life. My husband's been here 25 years. So for that venue of what we wanted for the celebration, we knew we wanted it close for all our friends and family to get their Uber or bus or just drive there if they didn't want to drink. So when we were looking at venues for that part, it was kind of approached it as two different events. Two different events in one weekend to get our mountain scene and to get what we wanted with our friends and family. That's hence why the vibe was a little different. We kept it very much to us. We like mountains, we like snow, we like skiing, and we like casual. So we went with mountain chic. Truthfully, the 12 people that joined us up in the mountains, they could have worn coats for all I care. It was a little warmer. My mom had moon boots prepared to wear in the mountains, but because it was a little warmer, she didn't need those. And then everyone at the ceremony, or at the celebration, they just came for a party. So it was hot. It was one of the hottest days in Utah that year. So we had indoor stuff, we had fans around, and shade, which was really important. Plan A is what we did. Plan B, we came up with some ideas in the Park City area that were a little easier to get to if the roads weren't going to be open into the high Uintas. And then Plan C was actually just in our backyard. Not what we wanted, but we do have the luxury to look at Lone Peak and have the mountains in the background and beautiful apple trees. So we came to terms that if the high Uintas weren't going to work for us, in our backyard was just fine, because it wasn't a destination wedding for us. It was a destination wedding for everyone else. And our backyard would have worked, because at the end of the day, it's more about us sharing that love and going to the next step than the background. Yes, I am so happy we got married in the high Uintas, but having that flexibility and knowing that you're gonna go in the outdoors and you wanna plan A, B, and C really helps, at least me, cope with what could have happened. I would have made the party a little longer. However, the sound ordinance was at 10 p.m., so I guess it worked out. But because we had so many family and friends who are seasonal workers or something like that, or haven't seen each other in a while, there was a lot of talking. And my DJ, Richie, the best DJ in Utah, he definitely helped me get through that. But I thought more people would be dancing and doing a summer wedding in June. Guess what? It stays light longer. So getting people onto the dance floor in the evening was a little harder because it was so light out. It was so nice to be around. Also, I think the props nailed it. Having wing woman weddings and events with me, I was hesitant to use a wedding planner because guess what? I'm the queen of logistics. I do this for a living. I love it. But having her there helped so much. And really having her start earlier with my whole path to getting married, you know, doing the wedding invites, doing the tastings and all that. I wish I would have brought her in a little earlier. And the last thing is, I wouldn't do different, but that shot list. The shot list was key, working with my photographer, Smyer, to make sure we had all of it dialed. There was one image we did not get the whole weekend, and now I'm working, brainstorming. We had a chairlift. Like I said, we love skiing. So we had a chairlift as a prop, and ironically enough, my husband and I didn't get one photo of just the two of us on that chairlift. We have photos with everyone else, and yes, we can crop them out and it will work. So I'm working actually with my wedding planner and my photographer to see, coming up on a 1-year wedding anniversary, what we could do. Do we go back to the ceremony site with a chairlift and a banner? Or do we just go in our backyard and do it and wear our outfits then? So stay tuned in a couple months to see what we do. But everything went as great as I wanted it to go, and it truly was our party. That's what I recommend, because I have heard a lot of people say that weddings become about the wedding, less about the people. And it's about you guys. Keep it about you. Yes, you're gonna break some hearts and talk back to some family members to say, we don't wanna do it that way, that's not us, that's you. Keep it about you guys. That's what we did, and one of the best feedback we have gotten from the wedding and the celebration is they felt it was a Seth and Megan party. And still to this day, that's what we wanted, a Megan and Seth party, and that's what we got. Because these vendors were part of my situation planning the wedding, it was a year-long planning process. They became my friends. They became part of my family. That's how I approach things. So I was thrilled when I thought about the idea to have this, if you had fun tonight or this weekend and looking for the vendors to throw your next party and highlighting them, it really made me feel warm and excited. And to be completely honest, guess what? No vendor knew what was actually happening until they showed up at the celebration. So that was a fun surprise because they're my friends.
Okay, can we just pause and appreciate that Megan made a custom sign so her guests could find and support her vendors? That's the kind of thoughtful touch that takes a wedding from memorable to meaningful. I loved hearing how she and Seth leaned into their personalities, not trends, to create a day that felt like them. Snowbanks, ski lifts, shot skis and all. Whether you're planning a mountain wedding or just dreaming of one, I hope Megan's story gave you a few ideas and a little confidence to do it your way. Because the best weddings aren't just seen, they're felt.